In today's lecture, I will concentrate only on the homework that was given in the previous lecture titled Boltzmann distribution law. The first problem that was given in the homework was prove Stirling's approximation. We have used this approximation in the previous lecture to derive Boltzmann distribution law, and the mathematical statement of Stirling's approximation was ln x factorial equals to x ln x minus x when x is large. Now, we start from the left hand side, ln x factorial. If we expand it, we will get x into x minus 1 into x minus 2 dot dot dot. It will run 3 into 2 into 1 and then it will end. When we open this bracket, we will get ln x plus ln x minus 1 ln x minus 2 plus dot 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 ln 3 ln 2 plus ln 1. So we can express this series as summation over ln y, where y will run from 1 to x. Now, since y is continuous here, we have for y equal to 1 the first term, for y equal to 2 the second term, for y equal to 3 the third term, and in this manner the last term that will appear is y equal to x, so we have ln x. So it is continuous. We can convert this summation to integration in the limit y to x, and it will be ln y dy. We have to integrate it by parts, for which we take it as ln y into 1 dy. So it will act as uv. Now integrating by parts, we will have 1 to x. Now integration of dy will give y here. Ddy of ln y, it will be 1 by y into integration of dy, it will be y, and we have dy. We put the limit 1 to x. Next, it will be y log natural y minus, this will be dy only. Now it will be y ln y minus y, and we put the limit 1 to x. Now this is ln 1 equal to 0, so it will be x ln x minus x plus 1. This will be the expression of ln x factorial for all values of x. When x is large, here we have x, here we have x, so we can ignore 1 to a good approximation. So we can write here almost equal to. So at large values of x ln x factorial becomes x ln x minus x. This is the Stirling's approximation and we have used it in the previous lecture. Second question in the homework was the Boltzmann distribution law was obtained to be e to the power minus beta epsilon I upon summation over e to the power minus beta epsilon I, which is the fraction of total number of molecules at equilibrium which occupies the ith level at a certain temperature. Now the question was, since distribution is a function of temperature, this expression must contain the symbol temperature as it will control the distribution, and it is the Boltzmann distribution law. So where it is incorporated, where the temperature factor is being incorporated in this equation that you have to predict. That was the question. Now we all know that if we find a number of levels, quantum mechanical levels for a system, say this carries energy 0, this carries energy epsilon 1, this to be epsilon 2, epsilon 3, energy is increasing along this direction. Now more the energy, less will be the population. The population at the higher energy level will be less compared to the low energy level, since system having finite energy will not allow more and more molecules with high energy. If there is no degeneracy, then the population distribution becomes like this. This is the quantum number and this is the population. So with increase in quantum number, population decreases. More the energy of the level, less will be the number of molecules. If you increase the temperature, then what happens? More and more molecules will be activated and high energy molecules will be allowed. So to increase the population at the high energy level, you need to increase the temperature. Now, if you watch this expression carefully, you can see that with increase in energy, here we have a negative sign, so population will decrease. This is due to the energy criteria as I have explained, and that is being incorporated here. Now with increase in temperature, as the system allows more and more molecules to access the high energy levels, so where to put this temperature? We have to put the temperature factor in the denominator, so that epsilon by T will decrease with increasing temperature, and we have a negative sign here, see. So with increasing temperature, this factor will increase. Then only we will have an increase in population as per the law. So from this judgment, we predict that beta must be proportional to 1 by T. Now, removing this proportionality, we have beta equals to 1 by Ct. Let 1 by C be the proportionality constant. Beta is inversely proportional to absolute temperature and C is the proportionality constant. Now if we put here, we'll get e to the power minus epsilon I upon Ct by summation over e to the power minus epsilon I upon Ct. So if this is the question that how to put the temperature in the Boltzmann distribution law, then this will be your answer, that I will put the temperature factor in the denominator of the exponential term. since with increase in temperature population increases. With increase in temperature this factor will decrease and we have a negative sign here, so it will increase. At this point one may ask that what is the nature of the constant, nature of C in the above expression. So let us argue from the dimension. We know that exponential term is dimensionless. So within the parenthesis what we will get for an exponential, it will be dimensionless. So epsilon by Ct will have no unit. So C will be, we take C here, C will be epsilon upon T in terms of unit. Now we put the unit of energy, so it will be joule per molecule. It will be joule per molecule. It is energy of the ith level, and it is Kelvin. So we get the unit of C to be joule per molecule per Kelvin. Next, we all know R, universal gas constant. Its unit is joule per mole per Kelvin. Now what happens if we divide it by Na? It becomes the Boltzmann constant Kb. Now R is joule per mole per Kelvin and Avogadro number is that number of molecules per mole. So mole inverse will cancel out, molecule will go to the numerator and it will be joule per molecule per Kelvin. So we see that joule per molecule per Kelvin is the unit of Boltzmann constant. So from this we can predict that C is nothing but the Boltzmann constant. We put here 1 by kT for beta. So it will be e to the power minus epsilon upon kT by summation over e to the power minus epsilon upon kT. Since we get beta equals to 1 by kT. So this is the expression of Boltzmann distribution law which has the temperature factor incorporated in it. Now we came to this conclusion through physical intuition. In the next lecture I will show you how to get the value of beta, which is actually 1 by kT, and in that connection I will introduce to you the partition function. The third question that was given in the homework is how to incorporate degeneracy in the Boltzmann distribution law. For example, if instead of such arrangement of energy levels within a system, this is the mode of that is the ground state is containing only one state. The first excited level contains 3 states which are enjoying same energy, that is epsilon 1, held is epsilon 0. Again the second excited state is having only one state, so its level of degeneracy is 1, and for the third excited state we have 5 states, different states having same energy. Now the number of states here is 1, so it is non-degenerate. Here it is 3, so number of degeneracy or this level is said to be 3-fold degenerate. It is 1-fold degenerate. It is again 5-fold degenerate. Now this 5-fold or 3-fold or 1-fold, it is symbolized as GI. GI means degeneracy of the ith level. It is also named as the statistical weight factor. Now degeneracy is defined as two or more different states of a quantum mechanical system. They are said to be degenerate if they produce identical energy values upon measurement. Or to define it simply, we can say that different states of a level that are having same energy are termed as degenerate states. Now, what will be the effect on population? Let us name these states to be A, B and C. Now, the population in the Ath state will be equal to the population in the Bth state, and that will be equal to the population in the Cth state, and they all will be equal to A into e to the power minus beta epsilon 1. The population will be guided by the energy of those states, and since all the three degenerate states will carry the same energy and the system is enjoying the particular temperature and it is at equilibrium, population will be same. Since the nature of the states in which they are differing from each other is not incorporated in the Boltzmann distribution law. Only the energy will guide and the thermal energy, that is temperature of the system, will guide. So what will be the population of the ith level? That will be 3 into either Na or Nb or Nc. For this case, it will be 1 into this population for the second excited state, and this will be 5 into population in the one state. That will be the total population for that level. So in general, we can write it to be Gi, that is the number of folds of degeneracy, into it will be the population in each state which is guided by the Boltzmann distribution law. So it will be A into e to the power minus beta epsilon I. Now N will give us in this way. Since N is summation over Ni, so the Boltzmann distribution law, which is the fraction of total number of molecules at equilibrium at a certain temperature in the ith level, will be this AA will cancel out and we will have Gi into e to the power minus beta epsilon I by summation over Gi into e to the power minus beta epsilon I. So this is how the number of folds of degeneracy in any level will be incorporated in the Boltzmann distribution law. And if for any level we get the number of degeneracy equal to 1, then we will get the equation as we have obtained in the previous lecture, which is valid for non-degenerate states only. It is, we put Gi equal to 1 in case of non-degenerate states, there will be no degeneracy. So Gi, we put Gi equal to 1. So this is the answer.